So, see, before every talk, I think of this slide. So, because you all are here and we haven't met before, so why should you probably listen to me, right? So this slide is just gonna talk about that. So if you probably look at the graph that I put in, this is probably 2017. Before 2017 is the time when I was not there, and Freshworks in itself didn't have an SEO team. And after that is when we formed the SEO team, and this is how much we have grown. We have nearly doubled the traffic, and even purely in terms of the organic keywords, we have been able to scale to a really higher level, from ranking for around 10,000 keywords to currently now ranking for around 50,000 keywords. We have actually grown 5x. So yeah, that's a basic introduction. With that, I've also consulted for companies like Microgram, Abase, and worked for a company called Smitch, and again worked with an agency called Violets. So these are all the different companies that I've consulted or worked with. So that should give you probably a basic introduction about what I have done over the years. And so, like, having started my career as a software engineer, like in around 2 years, I quickly progressed to digital marketing, and ever since I've been in digital marketing. So put together, I have around 6+ years of experience in digital marketing. Okay. So I purely said we'll be talking about SEO today. So in order to understand SEO, you'll have to first understand three things. One is crawling, indexing, and ranking. So what do I mean by crawling, indexing, and ranking, right? So imagine you going into your house after a long time, and then your house is filled with a lot of files. Okay, and what do? Basically, you collect all these files, okay, and based on the files that you've collected, you segregate them into different types, and then you, based on the importance, you put it in your file shelf, right? That is exactly what Google does. So you, okay, so Deepak Shah is asking the question, what is fetching then? I'll probably answer that. So see, it is very similar, Deepak. So fetching is Google going to your website and getting the page that you want. So I'll probably take all the questions at a later time. So for the sake of everyone, I'll probably continue with the session and then answer all the questions at the last. So see, crawling is you sifting through all the files. Okay. Indexing is you collecting all the files and putting them in order. Okay. Ranking is you telling, hey, this is the file which is of utmost importance to me, so it should be at a much more easier accessible location. Okay, this is the same concept which a Google algorithm follows to rank its pages. Okay, so crawling is when Google crawls all the domains that are available in the internet. Indexing happens when there are multiple domains, but then Google chooses certain domains to be a part of their index, which means that gives the website the ability to rank on Google search. Okay. After indexing, if your content is good, if you follow all the ranking factors that Google is asking for, you then rank on the Google search. Okay. So these are three main components that you should understand. So for beginners who don't understand what SEO is, I'm sure everyone has performed a Google search, right? So let's say, for example, you are searching for something called as help desk software. So the help desk software that you see in the yellow box is called the search query. Okay, when you search for it, you get all these results below. Okay, you see the results that I've highlighted in red, and you see the result that I've highlighted in green. The ones that you see in red, can you see this little thing called ad written next to it? These things are all ads. These are not organic listings, which means they're not part of SEO. Instead, they are part of paid search. Okay. What we'll be specifically covering in this 1 hour is this green box. We're going to talk about how to rank your particular page when someone searches for a query in the first page. Okay. Or simply put, we are going to talk about Google ranking factors or Google ranking signals. Okay. So moving on. So, okay. So I told you guys what a search query is. Again, if I have to go back, search query is the keyword that you're searching for. And so every search query has a monthly search volume. Okay. So to give you an example, in the physical world, probably a cutout or a cutout in Gandhipuram would cost much more than probably a cutout in Saravanampatti. Why do you think that is? The the main reason is because of the number of people passing through the Gandhipuram signal or whatever, and the number of people who pass through Saravanampatti, right? So again, like in the physical world, even in the digital world, monthly search volume is a proxy for the number of people who's looking for a particular term. Okay, so with that, you'll be able to understand the importance of a search query, and you'll be able to write content around it. Okay, let's say, for example, Freshworks has a product called Fresh Desk, and Fresh Desk is a help desk software. Okay, so as a company, what Freshworks will then do is Freshworks will go and search, hey, is there any search volume for all of these keywords? Okay, all of these keywords that describe my product. If there is a search volume for all of these keywords, then Freshworks would go ahead and write a piece of content that will enable them to rank for that particular search query. Okay, what is the advantage of ranking for a search query? So see, as a company, you want more people to know about your particular brand or the particular offering that you have. And SEO or search is a great way to find out that audience. Look at the advantage, right? Someone is having a need. Someone knows that they want to help this software, and then they're going to Google and then searching for it. If they do that, you automatically know that they have an interest. And then by being present in the first page of Google, you have an opportunity of being noticed by that person who's looking for a particular solution. Okay, so that is the importance of SEO, and that is the importance of content marketing. Okay, so I would, before I move on to the next slide, I would like to pause and take any questions if you may have any. If you guys are comfortable asking it over the microphone, you can go ahead and ask it over chat. I would be happy to answer. Okay, so I have a question from Deepak Shah. Deepak Shah has this question: how to select the right set of keywords? Okay, so Deepak, this might be a little outside of what we'll be talking about today, but then there's this process called keyword research, which will teach you to figure out the right set of keywords. Okay, it depends on a lot of things. One thing being the product or the service that you're selling. Okay, Depending on that, you should be able to come up with a list of keywords. Then understanding how uh, Google segregates or Google segments its different keywords. That can be one way. And it can also be like what your sales team or the customer facing team are talking about. These are all the different way in which you can select the right set of keywords. You have multiple tools which enable you to do this. You can use tools like Hrefs, you can use tools like SEMrush, and multiple other tools that you can use to figure out the right set of keywords. But the the first step of the process is to understand your customer and is to understand your product and is to understand the problem that you're solving. Okay, great. So Dinesh has this question: what is the algorithm behind SEO? Great question. I wish I had an answer to that. So unfortunately, Google doesn't openly reveal all the components that go into ranking a particular page. But what we are going to be covering in the next slides will be a good jab at answering your question, Dinesh. Deepak again has this question: how much keywords should we target on a page? What is the agenda of today's session? Okay. Uh, yeah, so I'm gonna talk about. So there are no limits to keyword that you can target on a particular page. What you have to keep in mind is if the keywords, all these keywords satisfy the same search intent and they fall under the same bucket, it is okay to rank for as many keywords as possible in a single page. Okay, perfect. So I am actually going to progress to the next slide for the benefit of time. So we are, because so many of you asked, how do we rank and what goes into the algorithm? So we're going to talk about Google ranking signals. Okay. So I am going to simplify it a lot. There are around 10 ranking signals that most of us know, but I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm going to talk about the top four or the four that I think are super essential. Okay. One is great content. So what do I mean by great content, right? So a great content is something that understands the reader's pain points. Okay, a great content is something that ties your solution or your service with the user's problem and tries to solve that problem. Okay, great content also answers certain queries or certain questions that your audience has in their mind. Great content is also original. Great content is also in depth. Okay, so I don't think I'll have to explain the importance of content to you, because being in this day and age, you guys know how important content is. Be it LinkedIn or be it Instagram or be it YouTube, unless and until your content is good, you can't expect any engagement or followers. So similarly, with respect to search engines, after you have done your keyword research and arrived at the keywords that you want to rank for, it is super important to come up with a great narrative which enables you to use all the keywords that you want to rank for, or use some of the keywords that you want to rank for. Uh, Google is super advanced these days, which means you don't have to keyword stuff a lot, but it is also important to understand. It would be really immature or immature for us to write a page with no keyword focus, because that would mean you don't have a traffic channel to push it out unless and until you have a great following on social. If you don't have that, then ideally you want your content piece to be focused on a particular theme so that you can end up ranking for the keywords around that theme. Okay. So moving on to the ranking signal number 2, backlinks and interlinks. Okay. So what do I mean by backlinks and interlinks? Okay. So imagine all the websites in the internet to be people, right? So uh, so I am a digital marketer, and let's say I know Dhoni is my personal friend. Okay. So if I'm telling that, hey, Dhoni is a great cricketer, right? It is a backlink, which means I'm telling that another person, I'm vouching for another person, and I'm telling that he's good at cricket. Okay. And what do I mean by interlink? Okay, so it is me saying, hey, I'm a great digital marketer. Okay, which is I am telling myself that I'm a good digital marketer. That's probably an equivalent of an interlink. Okay, let me probably come back to it again. So let's say, for example, there is a website called okay, let's say there's a website called youtube.com, and probably there you have your own website, okay, which is triplexx.com or something. Okay, let's say you are talking about the best place to post your video, and then you talk about YouTube. Okay, naturally you would add a link to YouTube there. Okay, that's a backlink, which means you're saying, hey, you're considering YouTube to be a good resource that you want your uh, readers to check out. Okay, that's a backlink. An interlink, on the other hand, is when you're talking about a particular, let's say you are a website that talks about work from home a lot. Okay, so while talking about work from home, you're talking about the best uh, chairs that you can buy so that you can work from home without a backache. Okay, let's say, for example, you've already written an article about it. You would link it to another post which is closely talking about this topic, which can be a natural segue into the chair article. Okay, so let's say, for example, you're talking about work from home tips, and you're saying one tip is like having a good chair, but you've already written an article saying, hey, these are the top chairs that you can choose for working from home. You would ideally link uh, article 2 from article 1. Okay, so that is an interlink. Okay, so these are all different signals that tell Google that, hey, if a website or a page has a lot of backlinks, which means people read it, have actually found it useful, and they are linking the website. Okay, an interlink will tell Google, hey, if they themselves are saying that they have a resource around this theme or around this keyword, which means I should also take it into consideration. Okay, these are all rank. So let's say, for example, you are interlinking this keyword called work from home chairs and linking it to your different chairs article. Google will then understand if someone is searching for work from home chairs, maybe your article has an opportunity to rank for that particular keyword. Okay, so that is what backlink and interlinks mean. Okay, so again, quickly, I'm going to run to the next uh, ranking signal. So this is called as search intent. So what do I mean by search intent, right? So search intent means, let's say, for example, you are going to Google and you're looking for Nike men's red shoes. Okay, what are you looking to do there? You're actually looking for a shoe that you can purchase. Okay, so the search intent that you have is a transactional intent. Okay, that is what you're looking for. Instead, let's say, for example, you are searching for the keyword Nike founder. Okay, what are you looking for? You probably cannot buy the Nike founder. You don't have any other intent. Instead, your intent would be informational intent. Okay, you want to know who the Nike founder is. You want to probably learn like his life story and how he found uh, Nike. So it is super important for you guys to understand search intent before you even come up with a piece of content. Let's say, for example, you are searching for a term like internet speed test. Okay. If you're searching for that keyword, would you like to read an article that is 2000 words which talks about what an internet speed test is? Or would you like to have a tool that will help you understand the speed of your internet connection? Which is the one that you'll prefer? Obviously, you'll prefer the second one because the intent behind your search is you want to know the speed of your internet connection. Okay. So with time, with the amount of data that Google has become super good at understanding the search intent and providing the users with relevant content. So if you're looking for speed tests, most of it would actually be a tool that will enable you to get speed tests. Okay. Let's say, for example, you're searching for buy Nike red shoes. Most of it would be e-commerce listings like Amazon or Flipkart or things like that. Okay. And let's say, for example, if you're looking for something like heat maps in digital marketing or something, you will probably get a complete guide into heat maps, what they are, what you can do with it, and what are all the tools that you can use to figure out the heat map of your own website. Okay. Perfect. Now we come to the ranking signal 4, which is focus on the user. Okay. So the focus on the user can mean a lot of different things. Okay. So focus on the user can even be something like, I'll again go back to this. Okay. So look inside the green box. The inside the green box, the text that you see in blue is called as the title, and the text that you see below is called as the meta description. Okay. These are the only few things that a person reads before they click onto your website. So it is super important to make these things super descriptive and super interesting so that a user would want to click on it. Okay. So under the focus on the user, the first thing is to make your title and meta description super interesting so that someone wants to click on it. Okay. The second one is once the user lands on the website or lands on the page, it is super important for them to spend more time there. And when will they spend more time? They will spend more time if they know that the intent they had while searching and the answer you have provided on the page matches. Okay. So if you deliver what they are looking for, they are more likely to spend more time on the page and be super happy with the content. Because of that, the time they spend on the page increases, the bounce rate decreases, and if they really like a piece of content, they are more likely to progress to many other pages and then read more about other topics that they have written. It is a simple exercise. So if you think about it, if you think about your own behavior, right? If you read a lot of blog articles, you would have searched for something, you would have landed on to a particular blog article, you would have found it interesting, and then if you found something really interesting, you would have gone ahead and read other articles from the same website. So that is the exact same thing that we want to replicate uh, when we are writing content. Okay. So see, everything is tied with each other, right? A user will not stay on your website if the search intent is not proper. So again, if they come to your website and then they understand that, hey, it's not a tool, it's probably an article, they'll bounce off, which means your user signals will go down. Okay, and let us say, for example, you have a lot of backlinks and interlinks, which signals to Google that you're talking about work from home chairs, but then the content on the page talks about tables or something else, it won't match, which means Google again will understand this based on the user signals and it will demote your rankings. Okay, so it is super important to understand the link between all of these different ranking signals. So as Google would say, content is king. So if you focus on great content and if you focus on understanding the user, all of these things should happen naturally. Okay, so that is about it. I will again pause if you have any questions. Happy to take more questions because I know that we have a wide range of audience here. So most of you might be like really good in understanding the basics, and few of you might want to talk a lot more about basics. Few of you would like to talk about a little more deeper topics. So I'll again pause here and take any questions if you have it. Okay, so Deepak has again asked about crawling, indexing, and ranking. Okay, so Deepak, can you unmute yourself? Deepak? Okay, so perfect. So Deepak, just think about it this way, right? So let's say Google, you are coming with up with a new website called deepakshaw.com. Okay, how will Google understand that, hey, there is a new website that has come into my index? Okay, for that to happen, Google should crawl all the websites that's available in the internet. Okay, so crawling is nothing but Google has a bot. It will probably look for all the new websites that have come in. Okay, so it is just Google bot visiting your website. Okay, once Google visits your website and it feels that, hey, this looks like a good website that will talk about something, it will make it a part of their index. Okay, so simply put, an index is nothing but a file or a storage. Okay, so it is putting all of these different websites into Google storage. Okay, once your website is there in the storage, when someone searches for Deepak Shah, should your website come at top or not? Okay, for your website to come at top, which means for your website to rank, you will have to follow certain, you'll have to perform all the different signals that Google is looking for so that you can rank your website. Okay, is that clear, Deepak? Okay, I don't think I have an answer from Deepak. Anyone else? Amit, do you have a question? Hey, Harun and Yogesh, is there are we guys intentionally blocking them from unmuting themselves? Okay, perfect. So I am going to like go forward and talk about a few more ranking signals that I've not mentioned here, because I was expecting a lot more questions around these factors itself. That for the interest of time, I had only factored in the top four, but I will probably go forward and talk about the fifth one, which is the page load speed. Okay, so let's say, for example, you are looking for something. You'll have a lot of time, right? You want to click on a particular link and you want to go to the website, and then you want it to open, right? If you don't open, you're going to bounce off, which is a super bad signal for Google. So ideally, your website, the speed of your website should be super fast, so that anyone coming and landing onto your website can read through the content as fast as possible. Okay. Yes. So Deepak says it should be 2 to 3 seconds. So Deepak, these are all hello. Can you hear me now? Sorry guys, I mistakenly mute myself. Okay. So so to Deepak's point, right? Like he's saying, like ideally the page speed should be 2 to 3 seconds. All I'm trying to say is, hey, Google never puts out a number like that. All we have to focus on is focusing on making the website as fast as possible. Even if you look at any of the above ranking signals that I spoke about, right? Purely in terms of the backlinks and interlinks, Google says, hey, it used to be a ranking signal. It's not a ranking signal anymore. Okay. So what we have to focus on is focusing on content and focusing on doing the right thing for the user. Okay. Let's say, for example, you are talking about a particular topic, and then you figure out that there is a great resource on that particular topic. You might want to cover what all you want to cover. And then if there's a breakout topic, you want to link it to a relevant resource. Okay. So these are all natural things that we humans do. Okay. Let's say, for example, you watch a great movie, you will refer it to another person. Okay. Similarly, when a website backlinks or gives a link to another website, it is called as a referring domain for the other website, right? So it is, search engine is super similar to real life if you think about it. So that is that that is what we'll probably have to understand. Okay, so a lot of people might think SEO is difficult to understand, but if you take a mental model that you already have about the world, the humans, and how they interact with each other. And if you draw an equivalent of it in the internet balance, you'll be able to understand that it's not very difficult. That's why, like, most of these search experts go on saying, hey, it is super important to come up with good piece of content and things like that. Okay. Again, Deepak has this question: which is the topmost website in Google? Which is the highest ranked? Which is the highest? Which Okay? I think he's asking which website has the highest number of keywords, right? So see, I have no idea, Deepak. But if you're so there is this term called domain rating. Domain rating is domain rating or domain authority is a metric that SEO tools have come up with. If you look at most of the SEO tools, they'll tell you that Facebook is ranked number one. So purely in terms of domain rating is nothing but strength of a domain. So based on that, Facebook is at the top. So I'm not very sure in purely in terms of the number of keywords a particular website that a website ranks for. But great question. So like guys, if you can unmute yourself. Okay, I think someone has a question. Is that Harun? Okay, so guys, if you can like probably like tell me what like who you are. Like, are you a student? Are you a digital marketer yourself? If you can tell me that, it'll be super helpful for me to talk about certain things like in the limited time. Okay, Deepak is a student. Okay, uh, yes, Shahi, you have a question. Shahi, I don't think I can hear you. Yes, Hema. Looks like Hema has a question. Hey guys, people who probably are not going to talk, can you please unmute yourself? Okay. So Sandeep is a software testing professional, curious about SEO. Okay, Manikandan is working. Okay, great. So Sandeep, just so what are you curious about? Like, what did you want to learn about? Like coming to the session, what did you expect to learn about?
Vipin, to be very honest, I'm actually very new to the subject. I mean, I was almost on the verge of starting my own t-shirt company just the time the corona thing happened.
Right.
And while designing the website, we were looking into all this stuff as to how to get the SEO done and how to design the website and all so that we get the organic traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's not the right time to start a business as we know it because the consumption will be down.
Correct.
Uh,
So
but I'm
Sandeep, yeah,
yeah.
perfect. So Sandeep, do you think this is probably a good primer for you to go ahead and read more about the things that I've mentioned here? Did you find this useful?
Yes, sure. I'm finding it very useful. I mean, I have never heard this. I heard backlinks, but I never heard interlinks. So I'll be going out and doing more research on those subjects and that
Got
stuff.
it. Got it.
And I'm
Got it.
looking forward to the whole webinar as a whole. Amazing.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Guys, I'm opening up for questions because I'm pretty much I'm done with the slide, so I'm opening up for questions because I would because there are only 11 people right now, and I'm sure every one of you has a particular question in mind or a particular doubt that you want to clarify. Let's probably use the remainder of the time to address these questions. So again, yeah, I think Deepak has shared his website. Yeah, it's sad that we are going through this pandemic, but guys, one thing that I can tell you from my experience of looking at these different trends and search volumes is uh, actually people are still searching for all these different terms. So if you are a company, if you're a blog, or if you're a content creation company, please don't think Corona is going to affect you. you are actually in a great position. But unless you're someone like Sandeep who's physically shipping out stuff, maybe you want to like be a little more cautious. But other than that, if you're a content creator, I think you should go all in. Okay, so okay, Manigandan has this great question. So what he has asked, what is Google structured data? Okay, so see, structured data is nothing but Google wants to understand the information that you're giving in a structured way. Okay, let's say for example, Freshworks, right? Freshworks has a website. So if I have to give in Google the information, I will probably say, hey, Freshworks is a product company and it has different products. And we can talk about the industries, different industries that Freshworks is in. Okay. Because of all that, Google understands the information that we are providing to it much better. So let's say, for example, if you probably go to Google and search for just a second. Okay, I am. So yeah, so if you probably Google for this term called Atlassian products, okay, you will be able to see like the different products that are mentioned there, right? So someone from Atlassian has actually gone ahead and implemented structured data, which then informs Google that, hey, when someone is looking for Atlassian products, I should probably list all these different products because they themselves have told me that these are all different products. So simply put, it is a way to understand the information that you're providing to Google by Google. Okay. So, uh, so Deepak is asking how, sir, any ways to check how many keywords are ranked by a website in free? Yes. So Deepak, I'm not sure if you have heard of this tool called Google Search Console. Please go ahead and download, and make an account in this tool. It's a free tool by Google. It is amazing. You also might want to check this tool called Google Analytics. Again, it's a great tool. So for SEO, I think Search Console is more than enough for starters, for beginners. But moving forward, you would want to switch to a tool like an Ahrefs or a SEMrush. Okay. So someone from GUVi asks, how can someone as a beginner get started on SEO, sites and books to refer? Okay. So, yeah, I think this is probably a great place to plug a simple newsletter that I put together for beginners. Okay, so this is a newsletter that I put together for all the beginners, which has a collection of all the resources and tips and tricks that I've learned over the years. So what what you might want to do is you might want to click on this link and take a look at it. One thing that I want to probably talk about here is all the proceeds that come in via this newsletter is going to be donated to the COVID migrants. So yeah, that is about it. But to give you a small insight, I think Geek from GUVi, you probably want to read Neil Patel's articles. You want to read Brian Dean's articles. You also want to look out for articles by SEMrush and Moz, and these are all the different places that you would want to go to. Okay, and okay, so Deepak asked me what are featured snippets. So Just guys, can you probably I'm just trying to look for a query that has a featured snippet. Okay, great. So guys, yeah, guys, can you mute yourself? Okay. So guys, can you probably go ahead and search for this term, how to find the right help desk, or can you guys see my screen? Okay. So guys, if you can Google the term how to find the right help desk software, you will probably see that an article by Freshdesk is ranking, and you see the box. Okay, the box already contains the terms that are within the website. Okay, so it acts as a good teaser for the article that is there within. Okay, this is a featured snippet. So Google has understood that, hey, most people who are just looking for information don't have to get into the website. Instead, they could get their information then and there. Okay, so for stuff which is super evident, Google has a knowledge graph. So let us say, for example, uh, Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, you put in his name and birthday or something. Okay, you see it then and there, right? This is because Google has something called as a knowledge graph, and it doesn't have to send you to another website to give you the answer. It can give the answer then and there. The the more simpler version of this would be a featured snippet, wherein Google understands that here you're looking for information, and it is trying to give you the information then and there in the Google search. If someone is interested to know more, they can actually click on the link and know more. Okay, so yeah, any more questions, guys?
Hi Vipin, I Sandeep here. I have a question.
Go on.
Uh, Vipin, what I want to understand is, um, say suppose if I'm selling 20 items on my website, right? And then what I cleverly do is create another 20 blogs, each of one item, and for with extensive information on them, and creating backlinks and interlinks between all the 20 blogs and my website. Will Google be able to understand that there is some connection between all these blogs? They are moving within their own, what do I say, channels and everything? Because that would be tricking the system, right?
Sandeep, that's a brilliant question. So yes, Google would be able to understand it if it's relevant. Okay, you might want to read about this topic called hub and spoke. Okay, HubSpot has a brilliant topic, has a brilliant article around this topic. You might want to take a look at that. Okay, so essentially, what you're saying is, Sandeep, so you have different products. Okay, and you're saying you have a common page, and you have different product pages. Each product page has information about the product in itself, and you're going to be linking one product page to other product pages. Okay, is that what you're saying, Sandeep?
Uh, are you saying product pages in the website, or are you saying, for example, for me, if I sell 5 products, all 5 products are on the website, that is a different thing. I have created another 5 blogs, different blogs or websites with just only the information of the product.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting what I'm saying? So and then I'm trying to interlink all of them so that the customer revolves around the websites that I have created.
Got it. So I think Sandeep, I have sent something in the chat. It's called Hub and Spoke. I think if you read more about that, you'll get your answer. But it is possible. The way you're thinking about it is right, but you can perfect it with the understanding of Hub and Spoke. Okay.
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 Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah, go on.
I just said thank you. Thank you.
So Deepak is asking how to create a backlink strategy for an affiliate-based site. Deepak, would you like to explain what an affiliate-based site is? Because I don't understand. Okay, see, Deepak, see, it is all same. Okay, you don't. A backlinking strategy is going to be same for all different websites. It's not going to be super different. Okay, so one strategy can be if you have a competitor to your website, it makes sense to understand which are all the backlinks that your competitor has and trying to get backlinks from those websites. Okay, that can be one strategy. The second strategy can be figuring out websites in your niche and then trying to get backlinks from them. That can be another strategy. Okay. The third strategy can be understanding. Let's say you have a topic, understanding which are all the other websites that are talking about this topic, but haven't linked to any other website. Okay. So you can actually reach out to them and tell them that, hey, you're talking about this topic briefly. Would you want to link my website over here because I have a great resource around this topic? So these are all different strategies that you can follow. Okay. So guys, simply put, for the others, simply put, a backlinking strategy is nothing but writing, simply put, getting a backlink is nothing but writing to the website owner and telling him or her that, hey, I have a particular resource or I have a particular website which talks about a particular niche. Will you be able to link it from your website? Okay, that is all it means. So I hope I answered your question, Deepak. Guys, a lot of others have been super silent. Gen Z, uh, uh, Sandeep. I mean, Sandeep has been answering. Manjureka, Jaypal. Like, do you guys have any other questions? Hey, how? It's not only Deepak. It's not only guest posting. See, I personally don't believe in social bookmarking and other stuff like that. So I don't believe in all that. So if you're someone who believes in that, then I think probably you should go ahead and do it. Okay, great. Sandeep, I think, I mean, don't worry about that. So simple thing is, when you go onto the website, you most probably generally will have a contact information. Okay, you generally go there and pick out uh, the website that's available, the email ID that's available, and then you reach out. Okay, that is all you can do. So otherwise, there are also other tools like Pitchbox and stuff like that, which will scrape through some other person's website, and if there's any email ID that's present, it'll scrape through all that and give you a list. Okay, so see, uh, so I think Deepak, who is, most of them will actually mark their who is. So ideally, you would want to take the contact route, and whose will probably tell you who owns the .com itself. So the easiest way that will work is going to the contact information and then figuring it out. Okay, so Gen Z asks, what is the role of Google Tag Manager? Okay, so guys, so when you have a website, uh, like I said, like I already told to Deepak Shah, like you might want to have a few JavaScript code on your website to understand your website performance. Okay, that can be a Google Analytics script or a Google Search Console script, or any other script or any other marketing tool or any other. It can even be a Facebook pixel, right? So you will keep adding all of this to the website, okay? And it becomes super hard to maintain, right? So in order to make this super easy, Google has come up with this tool called Tag Manager. Okay, so the different tags that you can add to your website, you can do it in the Tag Manager itself. Okay, this also makes sure that you don't need any developer intervention. You can do it on Google Tag Manager itself. Hey, Deepak, there are multiple plugins which you can use to do that. I'm not sure whether you can run through that, but there are multiple plugins that you can use. Jansi, did I answer your question? Good. So simply put it, GTM or Google Tag Manager is a place to manage all your tags. Okay, there are certain tags which you want to be present across the website. There are certain tags that you feel should be present only in a few pages. So Tag Manager enables you to do this in a simple way. Okay. Okay, guys, I'll probably take one final question, and then we can probably end the session. Great. So this is a brilliant question, Jency. So see, for guys who don't know, there's something called as UTM parameters. Okay. So like I said, anything that's happening on your website and where people are coming from, Google Analytics will be able to give you a good understanding of it. Okay. So what does an UTM parameter do? A UTM parameter will tell Google Analytics where a particular traffic is coming from. See, Google understands most of the traffic that's coming to the website, but let's say, okay, to simply put, you are actually posting two different statuses on Facebook, okay, and you want to understand from which status you are getting more clicks to your website, okay. So in that case, let's say, for example, you've added UTM source is equal to Facebook, medium is equal to social, and probably campaign is equal to status one. Okay. For the second one, you'll say source is Facebook, medium is social, and then campaign is status two. Okay. With the help of that, you will be able to go into Google Analytics and then understand, hey, which post of mine drove a lot of visitors or clicks to my site. Okay, that is the power of UTM parameters. So why is UTM parameter important? Okay, so as a website owner, you want to know which are all the different channels that's working for you. So different channels can be social, it can be email, or it can be Google search, it can be paid marketing, and things like that. So these are places where maintaining good UTM parameter health will help. Okay. Okay. Sandeep, .com or .in, I would recommend .com unless and until you're a very, very India specific business. If you're super India specific and you have no plans of going across the world, I think .in should be good. Otherwise, I would definitely suggest .com. Perfect. So if you guys have no more questions, I feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. If you have any questions, I'm always happy to take more questions and help you guys out in whatever way possible. At times you might not get a response from me if I'm busy or if I'm held up with something. But please do feel free to go ahead and add me if you have any questions. I also share like tips and tricks that I discover or I learn from someone else on my LinkedIn. So if you are in SEO and if you are interested to learn more about SEO, I would request probably to follow me. So um, again, she's asking for my LinkedIn ID. Okay, so okay. So yeah, so Jency has asked my LinkedIn ID, and I'm going to share it here. Oh, Jency, you can actually see that in Google Analytics, Jency. Okay. So guys, I will probably pause here and if any of you guys have any feedback, I would love to hear. Just probably we can do it for 3 minutes and then we can end the session. If you guys have any feedback for me, I think it'll be super helpful. Hey, thanks Manikandan. Uh, Glad that you liked it. Thank you. Anyone else? Thanks, Jency. Thank you. Thanks, Sandeep. Glad you found it useful. Yeah. So Manikandan, the whole point of this session is for you guys to uh, uh, know and understand all these different terms and then go back and then Google about it, right? Because it'll be super difficult for anyone to teach all the SEO concepts that one has learned over 1 to 2 years to put it down into 60 minutes and then teach everything. So my intention is to make you guys interested and so that you can go back and learn more. Okay, Deepak, thanks a lot.